Everyone apparently in the industry knew that the broadcasters, Harry Carey and Milo Hamilton, had a major beef with each other.
Hit him up! Move him out! Move him out!
We want to know what's bothering you in the world of sports. Give Murph a call at 312-644-6767. That's 312-644-6767. And tell him what's beefing you in the world of sports. What's Your Beef is brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering.
Ah, yes, indeed. What's your beef? Let's get right to the phone line, see what the fans are beefing about. And as always, the best beefs from you. Win a trip to the best beefs in town for me. Browns. Oh, it tastes better lunchtime. Beefs and browns and beefs. Oh, man. I'm getting hungry just thinking about Italian beefs, Italian sausage. Put them together, Murph. Call it a combo. Let's go to the phone lines and see what the fans are beefing about right now. Let's go to...
Hey, Murph, what's your beef?
Oh, Steve Golf, I thought you'd never ask. Brian Roberts.
Brian Roberts.
See what he did yesterday in the box score, fellas? 2 for 2 with the Orioles and 2 walks. 4 for 4 on base percentage. Cubs in a one-net game yesterday. If B. Roberts had been in the leadoff slot, Terrio 0 for 5, Soriano 0 for 5. I believe that's 0 for 10. No walks, 4 Ks. Let's go to, very good, Steve Goffman. Let's go to, I thought you'd never ask. Dan is in Addison. Hello, Dan.
Hey, how you doing, Mike?
Dan, I'm fine. What's your beef, buddy?
My beef is with Major League third basemen who do not back up their catcher on a pop foul ball to the left side. These guys make millions and millions of dollars. This is something that you learn in Little League.
Well, some of them do. Number one, many of them do back up. And number two, Ramos Ramirez never played Little League ball.
Okay, that's fine, but just because it's cold outside, you're not going to trot 15.
He never played Little League, Dan. He's not smart. He's not smart like you and me who played Little League. I'm joking with you. How this guy yesterday, Dan, and by the way, you're going to go visit Browns. Hang on, buddy. Great beef. You're going to go visit my friends at Browns. Hang on. Hook up Danny and Edison. Let the record show. 2 times. This has not had nearly enough discussion. 2 plays yesterday. How about the pop-up that was caught by Zambrano? With the wind swirling, you can watch baseball 10 years, not see a pitcher catch a pop-up. This was the one where Soto is whirling around like a helicopter, and D. Lee undercuts Zambrano, almost took his knee out. That would have been great, about 18 months, with a knee injury, 6 months to a year, let's say. And where was Ramirez on that one? Where was he? He was just watching. He was just observing because he was called. Then the pop-up later in the game in front of the Cub dugout, and the kid Soto, he didn't do a good job at it. But you know what? It's a much easier catch coming in from third base 2 times yesterday. Ramirez, a spectator. The only thing he didn't have was what Dusty Baker used to allow him to wear that like turtleneck thing up over his nose and his face like he's going to rob a filling station. Let's go to Pete from Glenwood. Hello, Pete.
Hey, Murph.
Hey, Pete. What's your beef, buddy?
My beef, continue with baseball. Major League hitters. I am tired of the same hitters year after year doing the same thing, getting behind in the count, swinging at pitches in the dirt, and not helping their team out at all.
Well, Pete, you raise a great point, but studies from guys like DeWan and Bill James will, and this is why the Red Sox and the Oakland A's, they have learned, Pete, that is something that you can't, let me rephrase it, most hitters will never change those stripes or those spots. Pete, they have found that a college kid that takes a lot of pitches will do it in the big leagues. They have learned that a minor leaguer, Class A, Double A, Triple A, will continue the same type of approach throughout his baseball career. That's why I'm very worried about Felix P.A. I still don't see anything with P.A. Pete, how about you?
That's exactly what I was talking about. Him and Soriano. I know Soriano will never change, but especially PA.
Yeah, and you know what? PA in the 8-hole, I said it 3 months ago. Not that I'm boasting or I'm the only one that knows baseball, but we all knew, any baseball fan, Sox fan, Cub fan, knew that PA was going to have a hard time in the National League number 8 slot. Pete, great job. Phone again, buddy.
Bye.
I appreciate it very much. Let's go back to the phone line and see what the fans are beefing about today.
Hey, Murph, what's your beef? You got another beef?
Didn't I write that down? You say, Murph, what's your beef?
Murph, what's your beef?
Oh, I thought you'd never ask, Steve Goffman. My beef, baggy pants.
Why baggy pants?
No, just baggy pants.
Baggy pants?
Baggy pants, yeah. I hate these. Eric Gagne, Prince Fielder. What's with the baggy pants? Let's go to Bill from Mount Greenwood. Hey, Bill.
Hey, good afternoon, Murph.
Hey, what's your beef?
Well, Murph, I don't watch an awful lot of college basketball, but the obnoxious amount of commercials in that Davidson-Kansas game was driving me up a wall. They weren't just commercial breaks. They'd go to commercial for like 5 or 10 minutes, and then come back and play a minute of basketball, then come back, play 2 minutes, and then go to a commercial break again.
Well,
it didn't allow Davidson or Kansas to get in any rhythm at all.
Bill, and unfortunately, I got to take a break in a minute, so pot calling the kettle black. But, Bill, they have a problem in college basketball in regular season, and especially when they try to cram in more money. And you know what? Hey, it's free enterprise. If we don't want to watch it, we won't watch it. Then they'll put fewer commercials. I understand how all that works. But the flow of the game, for these big games at the end, it's not the way the game is designed to be played. And the fouling to try to, stop the clock and get the ball back, that's something they've worked with for years, trying to figure out a better way to regulate, rules-wise. At the end of the game, they've never come up with a better way to do it either, have they?
No, they haven't.
I hear you.
Murph, they don't pay these players, so who's getting rich off these games?
Well, Bill, I'm with you 100%. Why the college athletes of football and basketball aren't being paid, to me, is criminal. Thanks a lot, Bill. Appreciate it, buddy. Hey, I tell you what, it's lunchtime and you're hungry, and Brown's 50 locations around Chicagoland. You've heard me for years talking about the great Italian beef and Italian sausage. At Brown's, it tastes better, and here's why they're great. Because it's the same type of delicious Italian beef and Italian sausage that you had when you were a kid. Well, I'm only 25, Murph. Well, then your dad or your grandfather, or you're new to Chicago, you've never had a true Chicago Italian beef, Italian sausage. Put them together. Frank Portillo calls it a combo. Brown's, it tastes better. Back in a flash. Sports Radio 670, second round of beefs and plenty of baseball between now and 2 o'clock. Sports Radio 670. It's Murph. Driven to you by ChevyDriveChicago.com.
I've got your mom on the line, and she's got a major beef.
Welcome back. Second bank of phone calls. What's your beef, my friends at Brown's? It's lunchtime. But you know what? The great dinners at Brown's also, as I always advocate. Your wife, she doesn't feel like making dinner tonight. Honey, I'm stopping by Brown's on the way home. Buttermilk, battered recipe, chicken, all the fixins, the side orders. No cooking tonight, honey. Brown's chicken for dinner and a beef's at lunch. Let's go back to the phone lines, see what the fans are beefing about. Let's bring up...
Hey, Murph, what's your beef?
Oh, Steve Goffman, I thought you never asked. Channel 9.
Channel 9?
Channel 9. They missed the first 2 minutes of the Ernie Banks presentation yesterday. All they talked about all week, Channel 9 TV, was 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to have the Ernie Banks statue unveiling and the celebration. And the so they have Hank Aaron, they got Billy Williams, they got Ron Santo. They go to commercial. 2.5, 3 minutes later, they come back, and they missed the first 2 minutes of Ernie. How does that happen? Now, I'm wondering, are they that sneaky? No. That childish? No. That petty? Because that's when Ernie said thank you to Mike North and to Jesse Jackson. They didn't do that, did they? No, they just had to run their spots right in the middle of Ernie. Lonesome George from Skokie. Hello, George.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Lonesome George, what's your beef?
My beef? A big beef, a huge beef for not just Cub fans but Chicago fans. It's nice that Ernie has a statue finally after these years, but how about Jack Brickhouse? He only broadcast for 50 years. He should get a statue.
Well, he has a statue on Michigan Avenue down here across from the Wrigley Building in front of the Tribune Tower, but I always thought it should have been down at the ballpark. I guess their thinking was he also did a lot of White Sox, of course, as we all know, back in the 40s and 50s, so maybe in downtown Chicago. But there is a beautiful one, Jack Brickhouse said, popping out of a Jack-in-the-Box with his pencil and scorecard ready. You got to come downtown sometime, George.
Yes, dear.
Thank you. See you, Lonesome. Rob Deere? No, he doesn't play anymore. Remember Ron Darling, Rob Deere, they had a phone conversation? Hello, Darling? Yes, dear. Let's bring in Earl from Dwight, Illinois. Hello, Earl.
Hi, Murph.
Hey, what's your beef?
Did you watch a Cubs game on television?
Yes.
Did you see this subliminal message every 2 minutes flashing on the screen?
A subliminal message every 2 minutes?
Yes.
What was it? Allison Payne's not with us anymore. No, what was it?
Something about Chicago Cubs baseball in HD. It kept flashing.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't on very long.
Well, you know what really bothered me? That's where the miles per hour radar gun is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And they didn't have the radar gun. Thank you, everybody. Studio audience
I
agrees
do
with
like
me.
the new colors of the graphics, but no radar gun.
How can there be no radar gun for Earl in Dwight, Illinois? Thanks a lot, Earl.
Okay.
See, and I thought in Dwight they never had a beef. Just beautiful. Dwight, Illinois. Hey, it's Joe from beautiful Stickney. Hello, Joe.
Hey, Murph, how you doing?
Oh, man, I was umpiring Little League ball in Stickney back in the 70s. I thought I was going to get killed by the fine residents of Stickney. That's a tough Little League town you guys
rough
got.
out here.
Oh, man, the worst was Argo Summit, but Stickney was pretty close second.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah. Joe, what's your beef?
My beef is with the medical staff of the Chicago Cubs.
Medical staff of the Cubs, yeah.
They cannot keep Carlos Zambrano hydrated when he pitches. For God's sake, he's a big horse. You hydrate them Clydesdales.
El Caballo.
Yeah.
He's the big horse. How can this... So we have to figure that because it was a little cool out, that they didn't have him pounding down the Gatorade, right?
It was barely 50 degrees. What are they going to do when it's 85?
I don't understand. They didn't have him pounding down the water. Maybe because of the new tax in Chicago where they're charging more for bottled water, you know what I mean?
Well, it could be a company.
That's not funny.
Well, you know that's right. Joe, good to hear from you.
You too, Murph.
All right, my friend. I appreciate it. Yeah, no radar gun during the Cub game. Unbelievable. Channel 9 missed the first 2 minutes of Ernie Banks' speech. Let's bring in...
Hey, Murph, what's your beef?
Don't you never ask, Steve Goffman. Let's play 2.
Let's play 2.
Yeah. Did you see it? It was in the Sun Times today. The statue, Ernie Banks statue, they misspelled Let's Play 2. They did not put the apostrophe between L-E-T apostrophe S. So, you know, it's like you're just texting. I'm texting, you know, you're the greatest. Why are you are? No, why are you apostrophe? Well, I understand that when you're texting, you don't have time for an apostrophe. Who cares about grammar? Who cares about... Let's play 2. L-E-T-S. L-E-T apostrophe S. Let us play 2. Let's play 2. Now, I believe they could still put the apostrophe in there if they got out there with a chisel and a hammer. Don't you do it. Let them do it. Phil from Glen Ellen. Hello, Felipe.
Murph, how are you?
I'd be better right now if I had some Browns jumbo buffalo wings. They're flying off the shelves. What's your beef, Phil?
Hey, I thought you'd never ask me.
Very good.
Now, I know you're not supposed to rely on the umps to win, and if you give up 10 points, you're probably not going to win.
Or runs. 10 runs would also have a lot to do with it, yeah.
Yeah, but that was probably one of the worst called games I've ever seen of any sport. Between the foot off the bag at first.
You're talking about the White Sox game.
The only game that was played. Missed tag at first and the awful interference call. It's just awful.
Thank you, Phil. I appreciate it very much. You started off so good with the I thought you'd never ask. See, maybe other shows do that. I hate the Cubs, I hate the Sox, all that jazz. That's other shows. But I appreciate your calling in, Phil. And it started off so good. Let's bring up, hey, there's DJ's on the south side. DJ?
Hey, Murph.
How are you? What's your beef?
My beef is with the White Sox ground crew that went to Wrigley Field, took all the grass away from the bullpen areas, and put a ground dirt over there. It looks like a dump.
No, wait a minute. The grass used to be out in the bleachers. But that was back in the 70s, of course, if you know what I mean. Now, it was only the sod father himself. It was, Roger Bossard was paid and hired to coordinate. I would imagine, though, with the union, and then it was still the Cubs grounds folks, grounds crew, with the, organization coming from the sod father himself. What did you not like about the field? I thought it looked very good, DJ.
Well, they took all the grassy area from the bullpen areas.
You're talking about where the new warning track is, no?
Yeah, they didn't have to put a warning track there. Fenway and Wrigley are grandfathered. He didn't have to take all that grass away from there.
Well, I tell you what, P.K. Wrigley was a grandfather.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Thank you very much, DJ. And our final beefer of the day. Oh, you're a rough crowd. No, it's my dad in Aurora. Hello, Sindad.
Hey, how you doing? I'm honored.
No, I'm honored. What's your beef, buddy?
Oh, it's the same every year, Murph.
Yeah.
What are Major League Baseball schedulers doing? You got dome teams playing in cold cities. You got warm weather teams playing in cold cities. You got a day off after opening day. These guys smoking peyote or something while they're...
They're all from Carbondale, maybe.
I don't understand how they figure out what the schedule is. I mean, the first couple of weeks of the season should be played in warm cities.
Dad, it used to bother me, but then I remembered one thing, that the quote-unquote schedule makers, still it has to be approved by Bud Selig.
Bud Selig declined to talk to
So you know as well as I do that there's got to be something to do with money behind this, and that's why they do it. Otherwise they wouldn't do it because it makes so much sense. There's got to be a reason. They're all making more money. They must choreograph when we're going to have slow days, who we need in the first week, who we want on weekends in the summer. When the Packers are playing, the Cubs have to go up to Milwaukee to help Bud Selig's buddies up there. It's a mess. You got it right. You're going to go visit my friends at Browns. Hang on, Dad.
All right, thanks, Marv.
Nice beef, buddy. We're going to be busy today. And Vuk is busy right now working on all your insurance needs. Murph's Nationwide Insurance Agent of the Year, Vuk, Jeff Vukovich in Park Ridge. Back in a flash, Sports Radio 670, Murph till 2, The Score.
Thanks for participating in What's Your Beef. Join Murph for another edition of What's Your Beef. What's Your Beef has been brought to you by Brown's Chicken Sandwiches and Catering. All winners of the Mike Murphy Show are only eligible to win prizes once in a 60-day period.
Me? I love the Maxwell Street Polish.